Hey everyone. There's a lot of sweeteners in a lot of different foods nowadays, and I just wanted to go over some ones that sort of stuck out as could be the healthiest for you. And that's going to be the conversation today. Sugar is often demonized as unhealthy, and rightfully so, but it can be good for you in certain situations and bad in most, in the sense that depending on how it's processed and where it was derived from, and also how much is consumed. So when sugar from unhealthy sources is eaten in excess, it can definitely lead to negative health effects, metabolic disorders, and weight gain. But if you use sugar strategically and from certain sources, a lot of it all comes down to where is it derived from, how is it processed. There's two molecules in sugar, glucose and fructose. There's two types of sugar, glucose and fructose, and depending on the food or the sweetener, it has varying amounts of glucose and fructose. It's found naturally in fruits, honey, starchy vegetables. Those are places where it can be somewhat beneficial to have every once in a while and in moderation. On the other hand, when they're found in processed things like high fructose corn syrup, where most of it's derived heavily from corn, that is what we want to avoid. So if you know where the source is from, how it was processed, then you're a lot better off when it comes to consuming sugar. So the positive is you can consume some sugar and use it to your benefit. Now, let me just give you an example. Let's just take a refined white sugar versus coconut sugar, right? You'll see coconut sugar in a lot of different things nowadays. And the big difference is the glycemic index of those foods, how they impact your blood sugar. That table sugar or refined white sugar has a glycemic index of 65, which will raise your blood sugar quick, which will lead to energy. You'll lose energy and lose mood. But instead, an alternative could be coconut sugar, which a glycemic index of 35, so about almost half that is of regular sugar. And it's loaded with some vitamins and minerals as well. So there is a difference in sugars. They're all not created equal. And so I would say my top three healthiest would be number one, probably fruit. Now, I'm not a big advocate of having fruit all the time. You can eat it seasonally, and when it's, if you go to the farmer's market, when it's right for it, per se in the summer more so than in the winter. But either way, fruit in moderation. The nice thing about fruit is it contains water and fiber, which slows down the digestion process and makes it more low glycemic, so it won't impact your blood sugar as much. Now, sugar can have a lot of fructose, which gets stored in the liver, and you can't use that as energy. So you want to have it in moderation, have it seasonally. My number two healthiest sugar would be stevia, or like I mentioned in the example, coconut sugar. Okay, both can be good sources, again in moderation, but used from time to time. And lastly, raw, organic, unpasteurized honey is a great sweetener as well. And you'll see this sometimes in bars. Make sure it's the right kind of honey, because if it is, it can contain enzymes and other trace elements, even some proteins that are healthy and beneficial. So just to recap, I would stick to fruit in moderation and seasonally, stevia, coconut sugar, or raw, organic, unpasteurized honey. And you can use those as sweeteners. Now, when's the most beneficial time to have these? I would say after exercise, when your glycogen levels are low and you want to sort of refuel. So sometimes I will have fruit, maybe some berries, on an empty stomach, maybe after a workout is a perfect time to have it. Also, if you're big in the keto space and you do keto for a while and you want to have a week or a day of what's called a carb refeed, then you can use these sweeteners, fruit or stevia, coconut sugar as well in this carb refeed. So anyways, hope that helps. Hope that gives you sort of an overview of what sweeteners are, how fructose and glucose are incorporated into certain elements of different sweeteners. So anyways, write, comment, question below. Feel free to share this with anyone who you think it would be beneficial to. Hope you're enjoying the videos, and have a great day.